Hi Virgo, let's have a look at your astrology and tarot for this new moon coming up. So new moon set the energy for the next month, for the month ahead. And this new moon is happening on the 21st of January for New Zealand and Australia and the 22nd for the rest of the world. So this new moon is quite an interesting one. It's conjuncting Pluto. And so we have a new moon means the sun and the moon are exactly conjunct, so they're exactly next to each other. When the sun and the moon come together, we have the soul and the spirit coming into alignment. So we have the physical body and the emotional body joining up, so to speak. What that means is that our inner and outer worlds come together to look at how much we are in balance and harmony, and they set the stage for like I said, the next new moon. So this reading is going to be go up till the 19th of February, till we have the next new moon in Pisces. So yes, with this sun moon we have a conjunction to Pluto, and so for Virgo you have the sun moon in your sixth sector. Sixth sector is your sector of work. It's your sector of work and daily routine. So this is where your day-to-day life experience happens. And with the sun moon there, this is when you're going to be, good things can be going on around your work situation, but also within the home situation if you don't go out to work every day. With this conjunct Pluto, it's sitting in your fifth sector. And so, Pluto's a slow-moving planet. It's been sitting in your fifth sector for quite a while. And, these slow-moving planets, they really take effect when they're being activated by the inner planets. So with this sun moon, the energy of the sun moon is Pluto. Pluto is all about power, control, and force. It's about the unseen forces. It's about when fate takes over our life and moves us forward into a transformative direction, but really the direction that we're fated to go in. So this is why Pluto has a lot to do with fate. It also relates to control, and so where we have the sun, moon, Pluto, sun Pluto conjunction is all about our personal control. We can either be a time when we are gaining more personal control, or a time when we're actually feeling controlled, squashed by others. With the moon conjuncting Pluto, it's a time when we feel this inner compelling energy, this sort of impulsive, it's an extreme expression of feeling. So this can be excitement for a new passion, or it can be feeling emotional outbursts where you're feeling hurt or upset or insulted, or taking offense, as can be moon Pluto, because we take things so deeply, too deeply. So with moon Pluto there, for some it's going to be like just getting on with passion, our passion or direction. Moon Pluto sort of means we have developed a certain area of interest to the exclusion of everything else sometimes, but it can relate to spiritual work. It relates to psychometric gifts, but it also can be research work or art or writing, any area where you've just got to go absorbed into this space without any interruption. So it's a really good time for finding your passion and finding what you like to do, energetically. And with Pluto there, you have that in your fifth sector, and your fifth sector is a natural. Your fifth sector is where you, to do with your family, to do with your children. It's all to do with your entertainment, your going out and socialising, what you do in the outside world for fun, really. So it's sort of your pleasure house, if you like, or your pleasure sector. And but it has a lot to do with children. So with Pluto there in the fifth sector, it can mean sometimes stresses or worries around children, but there could be very good news coming out to do with your work or work relative to your children, or there could be a new creative area of work for Virgos. So one way or another, it's slowly but surely, like the realization of the changes that you want at an emotional and a physical level in your life, and how you can go about that. Now, it's not the realization like in a Uranian way where it's really quick. It's more like this has been going on for years and years for you as it's worked through your fifth sector. It's probably change for Virgos, you know, what they do, and it's probably changed the social life quite a bit. It's also probably been could be pressure or dramas or great things, or it could be both, relative to your children. So, you know, they could be moving into, your children could be moving into positions of power, or they could have had a lot of pressure on them, or both. I mean, positions of power often mean, you know, if you're rising up the ladder, often means more pressure as well, which is, again, very Platonic. So with this combination, the Sun, Moon and the 6th is squaring your node in the 9th. So this is a time to be connecting with friendships, especially those overseas, or doing things of learning with others. But I feel the learning could be more like on a spiritual basis or a philosophical basis, or could be relative to culture. So the 9th sector is all about higher learning. It's also about it's about growth and where we're wanting to, what we wanted to expand and reach from a more spiritual perspective of our understanding of who we are. So it's sort of like the inner growth in a way of our knowledge, rather than the 10th sector, which is like the growth of our physical assets and our retirement situations that we're wanting. So with this, I feel like there's some important connections to be made or connect with, but they could be happening overseas, or you could even have family overseas at this time that you're going to be connecting with. So we also have a Mercury squaring Jupiter, and Virgo will love this because they're ruled by Mercury, and they like this Mercury square Jupiter stuff because they often work with paperwork and that. But Mercury square Jupiter is very productive for any litigations or any legal work, any paperwork, whether you're doing contracts or whether you're doing signing documents for purchasing property or anything like that. But, you know, whatever you're agreeing on, whatever you're signing, whatever you're communicating with others, it's going to be about moving forward in a productive way. So, yes, Mercury, Jupiter in your Jupiter is sitting actually in your 8th sector, so you could find that you also get a bit of a leg up, either through sort of inheritance or through money that's been invested, or even through family, actually, with the Pluto in the 9th. The 5th. So this is, like I said, a really productive time. So this is all around that first week. It goes on from the 18th to about the 24th, this Mercury square Jupiter. The other combinations here that will be important. I mean, Mars has actually been going retrograde through your 10th. Mars is in your 10th house for quite a while, so you will be more focused than normal. And when I say quite a while, I think we go back to August, and it doesn't come out until March or May. But Mars is just like, it's a very, very long period for Mars to be in Gemini, and that being your 10th sector. You know, this has been a time where work has been the main focus, but you probably would have, as it went retrograde, you know, you may have considered what your direction was. You may be changing your idea of what you're wanting to achieve for your future, and you could have even changed your career during that time. Now it's going to be going direct and moving forward. It feels way more productive. Feels like the hard work that you've put in with all that 10th house energy of achieving your goals is going to really pay off. And you know, it's good. It's like, yes, still more hard work, but once it gets into the 11th sector, that's when you can sort of relax a bit more and you'll be more active with friends and socially. So Venus, you've had Saturn in the 6th sector, so that's your sector of work. So yeah, work has felt like, you know, there's might be some hard tasks or a lot of problem solving going on with work. It also might feel like work's just a slog and I'm really tired of it, and when am I going to be able to retire, or when am I going to finish my degree, or when am I going to, you know, like wanting it to be over, feeling like it's taken forever. That's the nature of Saturn. Now Venus is coming up to conjunct that. Venus is it's coming up to conjunct that on the 22nd, and it's exact, you know, on this new moon. So, you know, the whole theme is going to be about Venus-Saturn, which is when we're really assessing, you know, what makes us happy. Now, with it in your 6th sector for Virgo, it's not going to be about relationships as much as, I think, finances, you know, trying to budget and sort of, I feel like where you've gone from feeling like you've got quite enough to do what you want to do, you're going to feel like you can achieve what you want and put it into a bit more of a methodical organised way, if you like. And I mean, Virgo generally have that anyway, but if you've been speculating or over speculating, it's like you're going to get real about things over this time and what you can actually work towards. But it looks like it's going in your favour, with this, for finances especially, going in your favour. You have Uranus, which has been going retrograde, and it's about to go direct. It's going direct on this new moon as well, which is interesting. So it really highlights the energy of Uranus. So sitting in your ninth sector, and that's again your sector of understanding. It's like a lot more understanding can come to you over this period of time that we're discussing. It's, when I say come to you, it's like because the ninth sector is all about, is about travel and being overseas, and you could be doing some trips you weren't expecting to do, but you also could have sort of sudden changes going on around your plans, but also you could have like sudden realizations of and downloads even of information coming to you, because the ninth is all about expanding your mind to a much higher level of understanding. It's almost like, and we might understand how everything works out in our immediate. This is more like the outer environment that is reaches right out to the other side of the world, and even up into the cosmos even. So in interest in space is also connected into that area. So, it's about gaining more knowledge, and with Uranus sitting there in the ninth and it's time to move forward, I just think that you're going to come to these sudden realizations on how you can move forward and what you can do to really achieve what you're wanting to get you into that 10th sector of, this is my ultimate goal. So you have Sun, astrologically we have Sun squaring Uranus on the 2nd of February. So now that will be sitting, the Sun will be in the 6th and Uranus again in the 9th. And I think this is when I'm talking about that, I think this is when you to expect that sort of energy of, deeper understanding and realizations. But also sudden changes can come up around that first week of February for Virgo, where your plans could change, but also new circumstances. But this is always about better circumstances than what you had. So it's not like, your plans aren't going to come about. It's more like, they're going to come about, but they're going to be more suitable as well. So something happens sort of quite quickly within that area, but it could also be about your work, and work may say, we need you to travel for something. It wouldn't surprise me around the first week of February if something around work comes up where you're sort of making a change in your routine. So you're not going to be working from where you normally work. You might have to spend a week away somewhere else, and you're connecting up with people as well, more the male principle men, so to speak, that it could actually be relevant to some changes that you have coming for the future as well. And then by the 10th of Feb, Virgo has Mercury conjunct Pluto. Again, this is in your 5th sector, so I feel like really good news, either around what you're wanting to do for your own personal space, or relative to your children. So also feels like you could have some big plans going on to do with children at this time. So let's have a look at your tarot, Virgo, and see what's ahead for the next 4 weeks for you. So let's ask what the universe wants you to know about. Okay, Virgo, you're needing a little bit of a holiday or a break, actually, because you are feeling really exhausted. And I guess with all that 6th house energy, Saturn sitting in there, it sort of feels like, you're feeling a bit tired of things, especially in situations where it's been an ongoing situation, an ongoing drama that seems to not be shifting or moving. Well, this is saying that things are going to start to shift and move quite quickly. There's new energy of love around Virgo, and excitement, the excitement over new things. So for some that could be new love, for others that could be new opportunities about finances, where they can receive more. They feel like it's like this new inspiration, this new excitement. So those that are looking at new and more creative ways relative to making money, and probably can't see that they can make money. Those that are more intuitive and connected to their heart, so to speak. So the more watery types of Virgos, if you like, as in if you know your ascendant or your moon, you know, the more sensitive types or the more psychic types of Virgo, they are going to be, receiving rewards, financial rewards to do something completely new relative again where their heart's open, where it's to do with their passion. So I guess I want to say to Virgo, you can make money out of what you love to do, and not all Virgos. Some Virgos, I'm not saying you all can't do that, but what I'm saying is that not all Virgos are going to be going through this, but some Virgos are going to be challenged with this. Can I really make money from what I really want to do? And they're really wanting to make a change. Some Virgos here are really wanting to get out of their career situations and make that change. And there's an opportunity here for Virgo to do that. They need to trust your intuition because it's really strong. So it looks like there's been a little bit of a battle. Again, it's a little bit like what I was saying to Leo, which was about not taking things personally to do with other people. Because we've got this moon, sun, moon, and then Pluto, it's like, it's going to feel, energies are going to be a bit weird in the sense that there'll be some people really struggling for control and others that are really trying to enforce control onto others. So some people are going to experience this and some are just going to experience it in a much softer way. But feels like for Virgo here, if you're not already in your position of power, you're going to be urged to step up into that belief of yourself and belief that you can stand up for yourself. And I'm not saying Virgos aren't good at that, but it's just saying this is what the challenge is. And I think the challenge is about, for them, is about if they have the confidence. If we believe in ourselves fully, we don't let others affect us, And we can pretend that we have full confidence, but it's really important that we see ourselves in a true light, because Virgo has no reason to not feel confident in what they do. In fact, they do everything. They put so much effort into it, and they do such a good job at what they do that that should be enough for them to feel confident. But it feels like for some reason Virgos are always striving to do better or improve themselves, or even sometimes prove themselves, and that sets you up for disappointment because where you really maybe wanting a pat on the back or well done, you're not going to get it, because if you were to get it, then you might slack off. I'm sorry, but this is the mentality of a hard-nosed boss that is like secretly loves you but won't say it because they're scared that if you start to slack off if you start to get those compliments, because they can see at some level that you're trying to please, or you're trying to get some result from what you're doing. You're trying to get some reward, as an acknowledgement is the word I'm looking for. You're trying to get some acknowledgement for the work you're doing. And if a boss can psychologically pick that up, they won't give you that. Sorry. So pat yourself on the back. You're great at what you do. You put so much energy in, you've got to make sure this is worth it. This energy, is this benefiting me as well? Benefits the company, and yes, you get wages, but is it benefiting you fully? So I think these are the things that Virgo may be looking at over this period of time. Now, any Virgos that are on their own, there's going to be some very important connections which are going to mean big changes for them in the future. Virgos, if they are on their own, sometimes Virgos do quite a bit of a period of time on their own, to be honest, because they are big givers and they need to learn to give to themselves. So sometimes the universe sort of holds things up for them. So they can cope. So they're more likely to have like a 9-year cycle of being on their own, or a 6-year cycle. I'm not saying all Virgos, and if you're a Virgo and you're on your own, don't panic. You have 9 years. What I'm saying is that the sooner you can learn that you don't have to give everything, and that you want a relationship so that someone can give to you, and you want to see what that feels like, and you want to receive, and you ask to receive, then the sooner things you can get on with it. So that is your lesson. That's what you're to learn, is like you have so much to give and you have so much to expect, because what we give, we receive. So expect a whole lot of love to come to you. And for those that have been on their own, like I was saying before, it seems like there's something really strong coming in here that's going to just transform your life. And it feels like these are, well, I'm talking about those that have been on their own for quite a while, because it's like they've done this deep search. They've almost been scared of relationship, but they're actually going to make some bigger changes. So for some Virgos, you may be going to different places where you'll make connections to people that will change your life. For other Virgos, you know, it might be that you decide, because this goes back to this main Pluto feeling of where you're passionate and go, I'm not passionate here, but I'm passionate in this area of career. This is what I want to do. And that's where you'll find, it's like if you go towards where your soul is urging you to go, then you'll find what you're looking for. And you may not even know you're looking for it. But like I said, there's really strong, important connections coming in that will be life-changing. So this can be permanent love relationships. This could be business partnerships. This could be meeting people that you feel so connected to that you decide you're going to move to a new location. You know, it's a very important time relative to partnerships and connections, but more on the intimate. I feel, looking at this card here, is more very deep and intimate connections. So for those Virgos that have been like in the same industry for a long time, you've got like 2 more years before you can, you've got 2 more years of sort of doing what you've been doing, because these 2 years are going to be where you get to relax more, where you get to reap the rewards more. Then if you're wanting to go into something else that you've been maybe wanting to do for a long time, you know, then that feels like the timing for that. I don't feel like you're moving into anything completely different to what you've been doing. I feel like now's the time to start to utilize all your knowledge. And this could be, even if you've done a variety of things, it's like all that knowledge and understanding is all going to come together and make sense into the perfect one thing. There may even be some new studies here for Virgo. You know, for the younger ones, you know, definitely studies looks really, really perfect. You know, maths, anything around maths is always good for Virgo. But and for those that have sort of been in the same career but they're wanting to learn something completely new, or find more of what they're fated to do, or you know, feel like you haven't been following your, you know, you want to follow something that's more close to your soul, the opportunities are going to come in for you to actually do more of that as well. So particular areas of interest and new learning is coming in for Virgos, for you know, sort of at a deeper level, because it feels like the subject matter that you're looking at it's got more depth to it, more again connecting to helping humanity or animals. Yeah, so Virgo, don't get too frustrated. You can have everything you want. Sort of saying, you know, there's a lot here that you're excited about and that you're wanting to happen. There seems to be a lot of movement around Virgo, and I think there could be some travel going on here. But it's sort of saying that you might be worrying about things and can or can't, You're already doing it. So just flow. Just go with the flow and trust where your soul is leading you. And, you know, when it comes to the ego that wants to get in the way and affect things, you know, just don't let it upset you, because like I said, I feel like you could be on the other end of the stick of a situation, or you know, pretty much it's just words that come out because of other people's frustrations. It's like, this has nothing to do with you, this is all to do with them. And I think as long as you feel good about yourself, none of that will be reflected onto you anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that, Virgo, and I'll see you next time. Bye.